everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wrapping up this Cowboys rebuild. I'm Colossal Tugboat here in year 4 and 5 of this Dallas Cowboys rebuild. So far in parts 1 and 2, we've seen heartbreak, we've seen success, but I still think the best is yet to come in year 4 and 5. We'll see. We'll see if maybe it's just a hunch. I don't know. We got a good team going here, still in 91 overall, 95 offense. I think that said an 87 defense. Didn't really check it following last season, but I don't think we got any dev trait upgrades. This is insane that we can't get Leighton Vander Esch up to an X Factor. Every other rebuild I've seen or done with him, he's been a X Factor linebacker by a mile. For the last 2 years of the rebuild, I might change the defensive playbook. We already won our Super Bowl, so we don't need to worry about, like, it's not Super Bowl or bust kind of thing. Obviously, adding another one into the trophy case would be very nice, but I want to see my guys develop. They're not nearly developing as well as I thought they would be, which is disappointing. I'm going to just go ahead and move Keys, his position, to a strong safety because it's actually aggravating me that they keep trying to replace him at the beginning of every year. So let's do that now. Leave him alone. Don't mess with him anymore. Leave him in their game. All right, so that's good. But the roster as a whole, the only upgrades I really see is Linder and Phelps here did go up to star devs. Trejo might have also. I can't remember if he was normal at the start of last year. This is the team. We didn't do anything in free agency other than pick up Holton Hill at cornerback. We did draft a few corners as well to help fill out the depth of the team. We didn't really have any defensive tackles scouted, so those stayed the same. Besides Freeman here, we did draft. We didn't scout him at all, surprisingly, and we got a pretty good pick, so that's good. But defensive line starters will stay the same. Literally everybody on the defense except for Holton Hill was here last year, was part of our team. Offense is the exact same, except for we got rid of Connor Williams and we went with Melvin McDowell, who we drafted a year ago. Even in a year that he didn't play, he went from 70 to 73, so that's good. We got promising potential there. The rest of the O-line is the same, so we are looking good. Check out the specialists, make sure nothing crazy happened like this right here. I don't want to see my strong safety being a slot corner for the team. He might be the best fit, however, I don't want him playing there. DeMarcus Lawrence rushing left in, Linder and Jabari Reynolds. That's good. I like what I see. So let's take a look at the playbooks. I don't want to mess the offense one because we've been absolutely destroying it with the offensive playbook. Defensively, we've been running Cleveland's. Let's go to Dallas. I mean, I guess we can go to Dallas because that's the playbook he always plays for in other leagues. So maybe if he gets his usual playbook, he'll progress like his usual self. Also disappointed to see that there's not much dev trait increases in the offensive line. I don't know why that surprises me, because now that I think of it, most dev trait increases come from obviously winning awards, but then also scenarios, and obviously offensive linemen aren't going to have scenarios. It just kind of shows the importance of drafting dev traits. I know it's hard, but normal development's not bad, especially with these sliders. You can still get quite a bit of XP, but it's kind of stings a little bit. So let's go ahead and get to the regular season. Start off year number 4. We've got 3 straight trips to the NFC Championship, 2 heartbreaks, and 1 that led to the first Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys in I don't know how many years. We still got a great roster. Literally everything's the exact same minus a piece or 2. There's no reason that we can't make another run for the Super Bowl again. Now, the one thing that we do have stacked against us is our division is really good. Giants have gotten better. Football team just went to the Super Bowl, and even the Eagles were in last place, but they were still 8-8. So I think that anything can happen as far as our division. I still think we have probably the best overall roster in the division. I don't know if some of those X factors left the football team or not. So we'll go ahead and sim to mid-season. We start off with 3 out of our first 4 games in the division, 2 of them against our biggest opponent, the football team out of Washington. So first half of the year might be a rough one. We have a weekly award coming out of week 7. Linder had 1 sack and 1 INT. Looks like a pretty good game. Came out with a win 31-24 over the Carolina Panthers. And CeeDee Lamb has an X Factor opportunity. Got some pretty good passes thrown my way last week. Give me another handful of those and I promise I'll make some plays. Got to get him 4 TDs or 200 yards rushing, receiving. I want to play it, but I'm not that worried about it. Kind of, like, I get it. Might just simulate till I get down near the goal line and do it. We are at 5-2, so not bad out of that grueling stretch at the beginning of the season. We are 5-2. The Giants are 5-2. Eagles 3-3, and football team has taken a step back, going 3-4. Not bad. Let's check our stats. 8th in passing yards, 3rd in touchdowns. Very, very good. Only 1 INT. That's one thing I do like about Dak Prescott in real life, as well as what has been in this Madden sim. He just doesn't throw picks. Like, that's one thing that I think is a very, very good quality of him. He may not take the biggest risks. Last year was definitely his best year I've seen by far, from just airing it out and just balling out. But I do remember his first year whenever he took over late in the season. He just was remarkably precise on his decision making. Didn't make too many mistakes, so that leads to wins. Who'd have thunk? Zeke Elliott, 95 carries, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns. Our rookie Terrence Whitehead with almost 200 yards but 3 touchdowns, trying to help replicate the success that Tony Pollard had. We do need to double check on his dev trait at the end of the season. Halfway through, Amari Cooper already has 724 yards on 47 catches and 6 touchdowns. Absolutely blowing it up right now. Very good. Blake Jarwin, 29, 354 and 2. CeeDee Lamb, 239 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Mooney with 2 touchdowns. Offense seems to be doing pretty well for themselves. Left guard thrown in, giving up 6 sacks. Trial by fire. He'll learn. 61 tackles for Leighton Vander Esch, 3 TFLs, no sacks, no INTs. Jalen Smith, 56, 2 and 1. Let's see who's leading the team in sacks. It'd be Linder with 5.5, DeMarcus Lawrence with 5.5, Jabari Reynolds with 5, and so on. So we're getting to the quarterback, doing well. 4 INTs so far on the year. Very good. And fumbles, we have 2. So forcing turnovers again. Getting to the quarterback. 7th overall in offensive yards, and we are 30th in defensive yards. Okay, that switch to the playbook did not really do us any favors. Maybe I shouldn't mess with it because we're doing well, but let's set it to San Francisco. I'm not going to jump in. Hopefully CeeDee Lamb gets an X Factor. I highly doubt it since I'm not jumping in, but I don't feel like playing it. It's getting pretty late, so I want to go ahead and keep advancing. So going to the end of year number 4, let's see if we make the playoffs, see how the team developed. We have made the playoffs for a 4th straight year. Week 17, beat the Rams 21-10, finished 10-6, play against the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule getting his team into the postseason. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at the roster really quick. I don't think any dev trait increases that would have happened have taken place yet. Zeke is up to a 99 overall. Amari Cooper a 99 overall. CeeDee Lamb did not get his X Factor, but is a 97 overall. That is insane. Mooney's up to a 79. Offensive line doing very well. Very, very well. Blake Jarwin doing all right for himself. Defensively, we're looking good. We will take that into the postseason against the Carolina Panthers. At the Carolina Panthers, we finished 10-6 behind the Giants, 2nd place in the division. Still a very, very good division. Even last place was above 500, 8-7-1. It's tough, but we're hanging in there. Dak Prescott just shy of 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 7 picks. Those touchdowns and yards are kind of down in comparison to the last few years, but still a pretty good year. Ezekiel Elliott, a little bit less yards as well, only 1353, 10 touchdowns, but Whitehead did contribute 7 touchdowns, about the average that Pollard was getting, so that's good. Amari Cooper, 1,200 yards on 91 catches, 9 touchdowns. Blake Jarwin, 7. CeeDee Lamb, 6. And Mooney with 3. Very, very good. Defensively, Leighton Vander Esch with 137 tackles, 11 TFLs, 1.5 sacks. Jalen Smith, 124 tackles, 7 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. Very good production out of the linebackers. 2 of the best linebackers in the league. Just absolutely killing it. 9 sacks from DeMarcus Lawrence, 8.5 from Linder, 7 from Phelps, 6.5 from Jabari Reynolds. Picks, 3 for Marcus Williams, 2 for Keys, 1 Linder, and 1 for Awuzie. And forced fumbles, we had DeMarcus Lawrence had 3 forced fumbles and recovered 2 of them. That's impressive. 5 as a total as a team were forced. Very, very good. 10th in offensive yards. It doesn't say defensive yards. That's usually probably not a good thing. Hopefully we weren't last. Patrick Mahomes, 97, wins MVP. I believe that's back-to-back MVPs. Steve Strong, I'm assuming a quarterback for the Bears. Probably who they took at the first round or first overall pick. We had no one on the list. Coach of the year, Mike McCarthy got an honorable mention at number 6. Offensive player of the year goes to Steve Strong. We had Dak Prescott on the list. Tom Brady is still playing for the fucking Tampa Bay Bay Buccaneers, 71 overall, leading him to a 6-10 record. That's actually incredible because I don't even know how old he is now, probably 43, 42, 43 maybe. So he's pushing 45, 46 in this game right now. All right, I'm down. We had nobody on Defensive Player of the Year watch. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Whitehead came in 4th, and Cordell Kirkpatrick came in 10th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no one. 9th best quarterback, 2nd best running back, number 6 receiver, best O-line. Our usual guys are in there. Chris Phelps on best D-line, number 10. Nobody linebackers, nobody DBs. Best kicker, Trevor Harper. Forgot we got rid of our kicker and punter last free agency. So one thing I did realize just a minute ago is I didn't look at our impending free agents for this year, and I know DeMarcus Lawrence was on the list. So as soon as we get kicked from the playoffs, we're going to need to check that out and see what decisions need to be made. We're not going to really be able to sit on a contract and wait on it, sit on like a decision and wait on it. We're going to have to either decide yes and go all in to try and get him, or just move on as a whole. So it's going to be interesting. First time we played the Panthers in the playoffs. Let's check out their X Factors and Superstars. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Derek Brown, David DeCastro, and Cameron Gates, who is a left outside linebacker. Derek Brown, I think, is a superstar regularly. He's one of the few superstars from the draft class. And then we have all of our guys right here doing their thing. So 86 overall versus a 92, 93, whatever we were. We should be able to take care of business pretty well and not have to worry about much. The sim hasn't been thinking the same way as us recently and making really close games. So we start off right away with a 7-0 score. I did not even see us march down the field and do it. So maybe it was a big bomb play. Go up 14-0 to close out the first quarter. 21-7. See if we can hold them before half. They did get a field goal. Maybe we can grab a touchdown right before, extend the lead. We did not. So we have the lead coming out of half. 21-13, 8-point lead. Now cut down to a 5-point lead. See if the offense can put some more points on the board while the defense makes some stops. Shouldn't be any reason for us to come into the game up 19 points. Make that 22. 2 minutes left, and that's going to be moving on to the second round. Sorry, Matt Rule. I don't know if that's the first time you made the playoffs since you've been here or not, but if so, sorry about you. Teddy Bridgewater was honestly pretty atrocious for him. Dak Prescott was pretty good for us. 24-34, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Zeke had 167 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Amari Cooper 78 yards and a touchdown, and Whitehead, the backup running back, had the other receiving touchdown. CeeDee Lamb didn't do too bad. Defensively, Linder was second on the team of tackles. Awuzie was number 1 with 11. Also had an INT, but Linder did have 3 sacks, 2 for DeMarcus Lawrence, 1 for Phelps. Leighton Vander Esch and Trevon Diggs combined for 1 as well. Who had the other INT? Jonathan Keys. Absolutely killing it with our defensive draft picks this rebuild. I think most of those are actually out of that first year too, where we only had like 5 picks. So we definitely made the most of them, and they've been huge contributors to this entire team's success. So moving on to week 2 of the playoffs, we get to play the Philadelphia Eagles, who did not win the division. So they went and played whoever they were playing first, and we both wild cards made it to the playoffs together. Interesting. Linder won player of the week for defense. Carson Wentz won on offense. This is going to be a tough matchup, I do believe. We haven't seen the Eagles team in our little comparison charts yet either, so should be pretty interesting. Let's just get into it. They are an 85 overall. We are a 93. Taking a look at their X Factors, they have Fletcher Cox as their only one, but they do have a ton of superstars with Zach Ertz, Lane Johnson, Carson Wentz, Darius Slay, Andre Smith, who is a left outside linebacker, and Zeke Waller, who is a left defensive end. So a couple rookies or former rookies. I don't know how old they are. A couple Madden generated players moving on up the depth chart for them, being superstars. I think we got this one in the bag, and let's see how it goes. Start off right away with a big score, 7-0. They answer right back. Going into the second quarter, we got another quick touchdown. They settle for a field goal, but they are driving back down the field. We need to be able to stop them. They only got a field goal, not bad. We need a big score. There it is, up 8. Coming out in the third quarter, we get the ball. Let's see if we can pull out a touchdown. Looked like there was maybe a turnover, but we did get a touchdown. We got another touchdown right there. Definitely seizing the lead, not looking to give it up. Seizing? Taking control of the lead? I don't know. I'm just like at a loss for words right now. We're killing it. 10-point lead as time expires. 37-27. Your Dallas Cowboys are heading to a 4th straight NFC Championship game. I didn't check the stats because I forgot. I'm sorry. Dak Prescott threw for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a cool 70% completion percentage. That is awesome. Zeke ran for 120 yards, no touchdowns. Whitehead had a touchdown though. Mooney had, holy crap, 4 catches for 141 yards, 3 touchdowns. Absolutely torched the Eagles secondary. That's impressive. Blake Jarwin 8 for 69 and 1 touchdown. Amari Cooper just kind of sat on the sidelines while Mooney took over the game, I guess. Very good offensive effort. I didn't check the defense. Let's do that. Jalen Smith with 10 tackles, 1 TFL. Who led the team in sacks? 3 from DeMarcus Lawrence, 1 from Chris Phelps. Any INTs? 1 INT from Leighton Vander Esch. And did we force a fumble? I felt like there was 1 or 2 turnovers. Guess it was only 1, but very good showing from the defense as well. All around good team win. And we are in the 4th straight NFC championship for this rebuild. The NFC East is absolutely killing the NFC. Like, they say the NFC least nowadays, but it's soon to be the NFC feast. I don't know. We are absolutely eating out here. Every single one of us. Last year, it was us and football team in the NFC championship. This year, it's us and Giants. We took down the Eagles on the way. It's crazy times for the NFC East. Producing, winning teams. Let's get into it. Take a look at the Giants roster. See if it's any different than it was last year. Looks like they still have Saquon, Jair Alexander, Steven Sims is a wide receiver, and Lorenzo Carter. So I think they lost a couple. They had like offensive linemen, Mitchell Schwartz or something. So they've lost a couple. However, they are a good team. They are a division rival. They had a better record than us. So we do have a little bit of a chip on our shoulders. Let's see if we can take down the New York Giants. Starting off the first quarter, we rush down, get a quick score, but they are marching down the field just as quickly. 7-7 headed into the second quarter. They got a turnover and made it 14-7. Very, very tough team to play against. Already going up 2 touchdowns. Get a quick score. Let's see if we can get some kind of a score before half. We did not. They are marching down the field, taking a 2-touchdown lead. Let's see if we can get some points. We do. It's a close game. Very close game. Defense needs my help. I'm not going to be that much help to the defense. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to mess something up. We held them to a field goal this time, so we do have a chance. They somehow got the ball right back, so I guess a turnover. Going up 13 points. We're in the red zone. 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can get a score for the team. If anything, just for morale. I'd love to see another trip to the Super Bowl. First down. He extended his arm. He got that. He is open. Easy touchdown. There we go. Trust that the sim does us well. We need a big stop. We didn't get it. Get better field position on this punt. We have a chance. Down 6, a minute 47 left. Absolutely no timeouts. Defining moment of this Dallas Cowboys rebuild right here. Not CeeDee Lamb, but the other Lamb that we drafted returning the punt. Didn't get very many yards. Can't really rely on Zeke to take us down the field because we don't have the touchdowns to stop the clock. Send CeeDee Lamb on an inside slant. I think Mooney's got his guy beat. He does. Get out of bounds. There we go. Nice quick pass play to get out of bounds. Amari Cooper gets separation from the cornerback. Didn't get out of bounds, but we still have a decent amount of time in the position that we're in. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to bring Mooney across the field on a slant, but CeeDee Lamb is the open receiver right there. If he can get out of bounds, he couldn't. The surprise of the rebuild. The surprise of the rebuild. Blake Jarwin allowing us to take the lead, or at least tie. I guess we got to make the PAT. Allowing us to take the lead. I guess I will play the moment on defense. However, I myself am a defensive liability. Let's see if we can get a stop here. They just need to get into field goal range is the thing, so we got to keep them away from that. And there's Holton Hill getting absolutely fucking torched. That's why I don't play defense. Oh my god. Three seconds to glory. Nothing we could do other than actually play some decent defense, but that's asking a lot out of me. Throw it up, see if anybody comes down with it, but they ain't going to be in the end zone. Unless Amari Cooper, would have stuck out his hands. That sucks. So the 4th straight trip to the NFC Championship ends in a tough, terrible defeat. The hands of our division rival, New York Giants. So no Super Bowl in year 4. Again, going to another NFC East team. Let's see who they play. They do play the Kansas City Chiefs. View the Pro Bowl roster. I don't think we really have too many people on here. Dak Prescott made it. Zeke made it. Amari Cooper should. Yep. Our linemen, maybe? Zach Martin, Leo Collins, Jalen Smith, Marcus Williams. I'm still shocked Leighton Vander Esch just hasn't developed. Been very surprising. Nobody on offense has changed developments, of course. Nobody on defense changed developments. So let's get to... We already checked out the yearly awards. Patrick Mahomes won the MVP. New York Giants, behind the back of Jameis Winston, win the Super Bowl in the 4th year of this rebuild. Very interesting. Year 5, heading into year 5, free agency. We had DeMarcus Lawrence, who is 32. This is the last year of the rebuild. For money purposes, looking forward, it's not too big of a deal. But we have a couple pieces of the O-line on there, and D-line, and corner. So, DeMarcus Lawrence wants a 2-year deal. I'm going to have to pass. I would rather keep my offensive line intact for this last year. We will probably come back and franchise tag him. We're going to go for him in free agency, see what happens. We do have $35 million, really the first time this entire rebuild we've had any kind of money. Everybody wants Tyron Smith. Von Kinlaw's available. DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't have any suitors right now. Everybody wants Baidesh. Remember that we were the team that made you a Super Bowl champion, my guy. We're going to check out Chase Claypool, throw him an offer. We can move him to tight end. Bring in Isaiah Wilson potentially, and move Leo Collins to left tackle. See how that experiment goes. It's the last year of the rebuild. I feel like this is going to be our weakest year yet. So Tyler Badass didn't remember that we were the ones that made him Super Bowl champion. So he decided to go ahead and spurn us. So that's no fun. He did well for us. He developed quite nicely. Happy with how it went. But now we got to find somebody to play center. So heading into the draft for this season, did move Leo Collins to left tackle. We have McDowell, who played all of last year as starting left guard. We do have Rose here, who we drafted 2 years ago. Not too bad. Should be all right to fill in. Brought in Isaiah Wilson in free agency to play right tackle whenever we moved Leo Collins to left tackle. We have this Cordell Kirkpatrick, who we drafted last season as a tight end. Not too bad. Will be taking over for Blake Jarwin as he departed in free agency. But I totally forgot we have Chase Claypool here, who we're actually going to make a tight end. And I think he's like an 82 overall right now at wide receiver. And watch what happens whenever we change him to tight end. 86 overall. I like it. So that's good. Will be a good vertical option for us. Defensively, we're really bringing back all the same faces. Nothing to worry about there. See if we can get some decent offensive line in the draft and just kind of fill out the roster for the final season. So draft recap, following the final draft of this rebuild, we took a left tackle at number 29 overall in the first round, 71 overall center in the second round, 66 overall left end. Not a great draft by us, honestly, but again, all this would be depth in the long run, so it's not that bad. The 2 offensive linemen had potential to be starters, but I think we got the best ones that were available whenever we were up to pick, so I'll take that. Going into year 5, the offense is still a 95 overall. Defense looked like it was an 87, I believe. So nothing changed post-draft as far as positioning. So everything is set. We did move down Jabari Reynolds to left end to help replace DeMarcus Lawrence. It's going to be potentially a big drop-off going from an X factor to a normal, but he did pretty well the first few seasons getting to the passer and kind of got buried as a linebacker, so we'll put him in his more natural fit on the line. Everybody else is looking the same. Everybody's kind of developed quite nicely. Specialist is looking like this. So we will go ahead and finish off this final season, sim to the regular season. So far, been a the most successful rebuild. However, there's been a lot of heartbreak, lot of heartbreak. Getting to the NFC Championship game 4 times and only coming out victorious once. What could have been? This could have been a 5 Super Bowl rebuild. That would have been insane. So we start off against the Giants, who ended our season last time around. Let's go ahead, get to mid-season, see how it's going. I'm not going to worry about trades or anything. So we are 4-2-1 at the halfway point. We are about to play the 3-4-1 Falcons. People who would be ready for a contract extension, Graham Gano and CJ Fox, clearly. But more importantly, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, Dak Prescott, literally everybody on the team. Like, that entire line. I haven't gotten this right here. Clark Neal is the first person, excluding the kicker and punter, that I wouldn't want to re-sign. Come 2024, look at that cap room. Come 2024, Dallas Cowboys, you're going to have an insane, potentially, I guess, if Dak Prescott's still there, an insane amount of contract extensions to work out potentially. I'm glad it stops at year 5 because that would be a headache to manage. Absolute headache. So that would be very interesting to navigate, maneuver. At the halfway point, we are second in the division behind football team at 4-2-1. I guess we're tied for second with the Eagles. I'm assuming probably we're the team that they tied with since they have a tie as well. Looking at our stats, Dak Prescott, 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Only been sacked 8 times. Not bad considering the changing of the offensive line. Zeke with 645 yards, 7 touchdowns, and Whitehead with 7 touchdowns. I didn't check his dev, but I didn't see any gold, so yeah, it's a star. Receiving, Amari Cooper, 500 yards, CeeDee Lamb, 480 yards, and Chase Claypool, our new tight end, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 3 touchdowns. Not bad. Offense is doing its thing. Honestly, that offensive line is really surprising me that it's holding up that well. Will probably plummet the second half of the season, but Leighton Vander Esch, 57 tackles, 4 TFLs, 0 sacks, 2 INTs, still rocking a star dev, the entire rebuild. First time I've seen that happen. Absolutely insane. Jalen Smith, 44 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. Let's see who's leading the team in sacks. It's our defensive tackle, Chris Phelps. Jeremiah Linder's doing all right. Jalen Smith, 2.5, and Jabari Reynolds trying to replace DeMarcus Lawrence with 2. Interceptions, Holton Hill has 2 after getting burnt in that NFC Championship game last year. Leighton Vander Esch with 2, and Awuzie with 1. And I don't care that much about fumbles. So 11th in offensive yards and 14th in defensive yards. Top half of the league in both. We've got a pretty good team. Let's get to the playoffs. See what happens. See if we can make it 5 straight NFC championships, maybe 2 Super Bowls. We made the playoffs. We did fall apart a bit down the stretch. 7-8-1 is our finish. The Buccaneers with a crazy 2 ties on the year. Washington football team went 13-3. We went 7-8-1, 7-8-1 for the Eagles, and 7-9 for the Giants. Finishing stats on the year: Dak Prescott, 4,000 yards, only 29 touchdowns. Zeke, close to his average of 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 10 for Whitehead. CeeDee Lamb came out with 903 yards, 4 touchdowns. Cooper, 884 and 9, and Claypool, 877 and 7 in his first year as a tight end for the Cowboys. Offensive line, still did better than I thought. Definitely the floodgates kind of opened second half of the season. Jalen Smith, 133 tackles, 13 TFLs, 6 sacks. Absolute beast this rebuild. I was expecting those numbers out of Leighton Vander Esch and the development. I was proven wrong. Led the team in TFLs. Chris Phelps right there also. Chris Phelps with 12.5 sacks coming out of the defensive tackle position. Been an absolute stud for us since we drafted him. We've done really well drafting defensive line, honestly. And this one for sure, but then also just most of these rebuilds have had solid defensive tackles, defensive linemen come in. Leighton Vander Esch, 4 INTs, Awuzie 3, Holton Hill 3, and Jonathan Keys 3. Been an absolute stud, strong safety for us. Forced fumbles, we have 3 on the year. That's a good team. 8th in offensive yards. I'd say probably top 10 defense. Okay, 27th defense. Was way off on that one. Patrick Mahomes with his 3rd straight MVP. We have Dwayne Haskins is now on the Patriots, so that means football team is being led by the one guy it should have been probably led by all along. NFC Player of the Year. Tom Brady is no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dak Prescott got 3. Zeke Elliott got 7th. Defensive Player of the Year. Jalen Smith got 3rd. Leighton Vander Esch 6th. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. No one. Like I said, we just drafted for depth. I wasn't really expecting to see much. 8th best quarterback. Best running back. Nobody on the best wide receivers. Kind of interesting. We had pretty good years. Zach Martin, our only offensive lineman on that list. Chris Phelps on DL. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch on linebackers. Nobody defensive back. And Graham Gano, number 2 as a kicker. So all we have left is this playoff run. Can we spark some kind of playoff magic. The worst record we've had in this rebuild that I can recall, but we still made the playoffs. So if anything is said about this rebuild, we were 5 for 5 on making the playoffs. Potentially 5 for 5 making the NFC Championship game, though I think that's going to be pretty tough this year. 4 for 5 is not bad too, but most importantly, 1 Super Bowl win. I'll take it. We finally got it. Dallas Cowboys. I was repping the Tim the Tatman jersey because he's a Cowboys fan. I didn't say that at the beginning. I usually try and find something. Like when we get to the Bengals, I got my AJ Green jersey. When we get to the Colts, I got plenty of stuff I can wear, you know. Repping this one for Tim the Tatman. All right, so this is one of the first times, too, we haven't had home field advantage through most of the playoffs. In unfamiliar territory for us, but we do take a 10-0 lead. Defense seems to be doing its part, not allowing Tampa Bay to score. We are up 17-7. Let's see if we can close out the half on a good note. We did 24-7. Kind of got a commanding lead, but in Madden, anything can happen at any given time. Dallas Cowboys starting to run away with it. 10-point lead with 3 minutes left. Still anything can happen, but I think this one, 6-point lead with a minute left. I'm not saying anything else until I see the final. 34-28. Matt Nagy almost led that team all the way down the field. Would have won the game for sure. Dak Prescott, 21 of 35, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. Zeke, 111 yards, no touchdowns. Whitehead did have a touchdown, and Claypool caught one for the offense. And Zeke Elliott caught 2. Defensively, Jalen Smith, 7 tackles. Any amount of sacks. We had 2 sacks and 1 INT by Holton Hill. So we are advancing to the second round of the playoffs. This team just doesn't give up despite the odds not being in their favor. They just keep on keeping on, keep on fighting. So we dispatched the newly free of Tom Brady Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Throw our upgrades on our players. Let's take on the Saints, see who they have. Saints have Michael Thomas, Cameron Jordan, even though he's like close to 40 at this point. Antonio Thompson, who sounds like a Madden-generated linebacker, and Foyesade Olukun. I'm not good at that name. Ryan Ramczyk, Vita Vea, Toronto. Oh my God, this team is stacked, and they have Sam Darnold. This is going to be a tough one for sure. 91 versus a 92. They have home field advantage. Looking like potentially a Saints victory. I'm not going to jump in at all. Whatever happens in the sim happens. Maybe we can pull one off. Some Cowboys magic. In the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, one of the teams will go home. Neither one wants to go home. 7-7 going into the second quarter. High-powered offenses going at it, as well as more than capable defenses. Should be just a blistering game. We do go up 17-14 going into half, and it's going to be a tight one coming down the wire. 17-7 as the third quarter comes to a almost close. 2017. Saints take the lead going into the fourth quarter. Absolutely managing the game, dwindling down the clock. Get a big score. They are up 10, but we get a quick score. Only up 3. We're playing. I don't care. That's going to be my staple. Say I'm not playing, but I'm actually going to come in and play. We got a chance to get back to 5 straight. Get back to the NFC Championship for the 5th straight time. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that happens. Would have been tragic if I fumbled. All we need is a field goal, no timeouts. If we score and we're back on defense, we let it sim out. We don't try to do no bullshit where we try to win it. Got big Chase Claypool coming across the middle. Much better than Blake Jarwin. He didn't even throw his hands up. All right, never mind. 3rd and 9. Just another way for Madden to just upset me. We got to get all the way to the 25, basically, apparently, for Graham Gano to be able to hit a kick. Why even sign him at that point? Chase Claypool drops the ball. I was about to say actually makes the grab this time, but alas, he did not. Go with what we do best. See if we can get a cheesy slants play. Yep, right. Overthrow into the middle linebacker. And that's it for the rebuild. The Saints win. Not going to worry about making a big stop. There's no way to make it. If Chase Claypool catches one of those balls, it's probably a different story. But that's the way it goes. So 4 for 5 on the NFC Championship games. Very, very successful. I was worried about if we got rid of if we retained Dak Prescott, we wouldn't be able to field the team around him going forward and would continue to deteriorate. I thought we would go the other way, but clearly I was surprised. So, and then like I showed you that picture earlier, I was able to win a Super Bowl, not recording with them sim the whole season, just the very first season. So I was optimistic, and it really looks like we made the right decision here, signing Dak to the long-term deal. We were able to keep the team around him all the way until year 5, and then if going forward, it would be a headache trying to manage all those contracts. So I am glad we are done at this point. Thank you for tuning in, watching all 3 parts of the rebuild, I hope. If not, be sure to check the playlist. They're all on there. If this is the first one you're seeing, definitely start at the beginning of the Cowboys rebuild. Well worth the entire watch. Lots of good moments, lots of heartbreak, lots of rage. Very, very fun, interesting series to do and watch. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if there's anybody you want to see. I'll be working on a way to better determine who I want to do next. Like I said, I wanted to do the Cowboys because they did take a little bit of work, but all in all, they were right there ready to win a Super Bowl right away. That way we could at least get a Super Bowl on the channel. Now I'm going to be more free to kind of choose a team. I might not just choose out of the blue like the Bills, who I think need quite a bit of work, even though they're pretty good. So we will see who we do next. I kind of like the alternating AFC, NFC each time thing. Pretty interesting. Don't know if I'll stick with that. I don't really have a real rhyme or reason order that I want to do. I'm kind of just trying to do different videos than what I've seen. I've seen Cardinals rebuilds, Washington football team rebuilds, stuff like that. So I just want to start off with teams I haven't really seen yet. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there, but try to be the first to do something. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. The team did better than anticipated. We got the Super Bowl. We made the playoffs all 5 years. NFC Championship 4 out of the 5. We did get beat by the Super Bowl champions up there, the New Orleans Saints. So congrats to them. But that'll do it for this rebuild. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Turn on the notifications. Follow all the socials down in the description. As I shout out every video, I'm part of the Raise Rebellion for Raise Energy. Check them out online or at your local GNC or vitamin shop. If you do get them online, get some cases, use code ColossalTugboat at checkout. Save yourself some money. Help support me. It'd be much appreciated. They got great products. You won't regret it. And as for that, for this rebuild, count it as a success. Look forward to doing the next one. Hopefully we have the same amount of success. So until next time, take it easy.